Hi, this is my third lesson in the video lessons for IELTS speaking. So we're still practicing for part 1. Remember, it lasts for about 4 to 5 minutes and it's a casual conversation, so don't be afraid to talk about your everyday life as well. Do you remember what I said in the first video about the types of skills you have to show? Showing your preference, what you like, what you don't like, explaining your everyday habits, for example. And also the typical topics. Because it's casual, many of the topics are about your hometown, where you live, your family, what you do every day, what type of music you listen to. And remember, the examiner wants you to show your ability to speak informally and naturally. So try to relax, learn some natural expression, and don't be afraid to talk about you. It's not academic. So the first skill, and I'll show you some examples, is how to express your likes and dislikes. These are typical questions. What do you like to do in your spare time? What hobbies are popular in your country? What sport do you like to watch? Do you prefer playing or watching sport? And do you prefer watching sport live or on TV? So can you see the pattern in those questions? What do you like to do? What hobbies are popular? Do you prefer? So these are clues in the question for how to answer. What about talking about people? Tell me about your family. You have to be a little bit descriptive and give some information. Is your family a typical family? Why or why not? Is there a particular family member that you are close to? These questions are not testing your ability to show like and dislike. They're assessing your ability to give information and description naturally. What kinds of things do you like to do with your family? Now this one, you can see the word like to do. So now you have to show the examiner that you can say what you like doing with your family. And also notice here the examiner said what kinds. So she wants more than one, maybe 2 or 3 things. List. Habits and routines. Here are some typical questions. What time do you usually get up? Tell me about your commute. What do you like to do in your spare time? Do you often go on holiday? Can you see the time expressions? Usually, what time? Your commute is your journey to and from work. In your spare time, and often or often. So when you hear these words, you should know, the examiner wants me to show that I can talk about habits and routines and use good time expressions. So now we're going to play with these 3 questions. We're going to practice and I will keep going after. Have a look at the questions. What skill do you think the examiner wants you to hear? First one, do you play any sports? Practice with me. This is a video, not a reading, so you need to speak with me. Let's go. No, not really. I've never enjoyed physical exercise or team sports. Of course, when I was at school, I had to do some sport, but now I just go for a walk occasionally. Let's look at a different student's answer. Yes, I do. I play soccer. I train once a week and then play a match on the weekend. I love it. What are the most popular sports in your country? Notice the examiner wants you to make a list, the most popular. In China, we love all sports, but we are passionate about table tennis. I think most people say ping pong. We also play badminton, and more recently basketball has become really popular because of, do you know Yao Ming? He's really tall and got into the NBA in the USA. This is an excellent answer because the student gives a specific example and the student lists 3 sports. Excellent. In Australia, we are mad about all sports. Rugby is really popular, so are tennis and swimming. In fact, even though we aren't a huge country in terms of population, we do really well at the Olympics because all the kids get to play sport at school and on the weekends. I think it's part of our national culture. Also notice the way the student expresses what other people like. We are passionate about. We are mad about. Do you prefer playing sport or watching it? Oh, I'm definitely a couch potato. Give me a remote control and a packet of chips and sit me down in front of the TV any day. I'd much prefer to be at home watching the World Cup than running around outside in the sun. This is a really good answer because the student hears the word prefer, and so the student uses, I'd much prefer to be at home. Also, did you see the idiom? I'm definitely a couch potato. Someone who's really lazy and just wants to sit in the lounge room watching the TV. This student can't decide which one she prefers. So she says, I guess I like both. I like sitting at home with my mates and watching a game of football, especially when our home club is playing, but I also love getting out there and playing too. Keep practicing with all the different topics. Here are some more questions you can practice. Do you have a big or a small family? And the student might answer, I have a huge family. It's crazy sometimes. I have 5 brothers and 2 sisters. Do you live together or nearby? Oh, now that we are all grown up, we live all over the world. 2 of my brothers and my sisters live at home in Jeddah. Well, my baby brother and sister still live with my parents, and the rest of us are spread between America, Dubai, and Australia. What activities do you like to do together? Well, as a whole family, just eating a meal together or watching the TV or maybe celebrating someone's birthday. How do you celebrate birthdays? We celebrate birthdays by coming together and having a special cake that was prepared by my mother. Usually there is a lot of noise and we sing happy birthday and give some small gifts to the person having the birthday. It's not a big affair. Or maybe you know it's not a big deal. Short, to the point answers that answer the question. Don't go off the topic. What type of activities help you relax? Try to give a list. This student said ride a bike or taking the dogs for a walk. Or this person says the most common activity is watching Netflix. Also, look at the idioms here. It's got me hooked. It helps me switch off from work. That means relax after work. Do you like to do these activities alone or with other people? So the examiner wants you to show your preference. I'd rather be alone. It's better by myself. Now you can take your time and look through all of these questions and answers and notice the skills that I'm showing you, like this one, absolutely, especially. You have to find time for yourself. Switch off or tune out. Very natural expressions. Of course, if you don't relax, the pressure of everyday life and work can build up. And who knows, you might have a nervous breakdown, which would not be good for you or your family. This particular example is a high level because it shows conditional if and also would and might for imagining only. Here are two answers for this question. Do you think people have enough time for relaxing? And this student, the first one, couldn't think quickly. So make sure in the silence you say, let me think about that. Now you can take your time and read these and practice these by yourself. Notice this one gives an example, an excellent strategy in IELTS speaking. Look at this one. In general, yes, but whether they use the time properly, I'm not sure. I wanted you to see this little example to show you don't have to give long answers. It's okay to sometimes give a short, direct and simple answer. I really hope this video has helped you. I was speaking quite quickly to help you improve your English and give you a challenge with a native speaker. But you can email me anytime, email me your questions, I'm here to help. And I also have a product, 11 lessons on writing for Task 1 Academic and Task 2 Academic. I wish you all the best.